right then. You may want to wait and then ask for highest and best, right?
Right. It is up to the negotiation between that licensed realtor and.
Few with the bosses view. You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.
All right, guys, welcome to the YMANation podcast, Real Estate Wednesday.
Real Estate Wednesday.
Episode number 51.
51.
Look, now she want to get, if you guys seen her on Friday football, she was just like, episode 50, 49 then. But now for her episode is episode 50. She got the swag and everything. Episode
That's
number
right.
51.
That's right. I got some good, juicy info for you guys today.
Guys, if you're on right now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I got to tell them about the $2,000 drawing.
Okay, go ahead.
Guys, make sure that down in the comment section, you hashtag YMANation, and your name will go into the drawing at the end of the month, our $2,000 drawing. We're going to draw 15 people, and they're going to win $100 each, and we're going to do a grand prize winner who will win $500.
Okay.
Yes. So the only thing that you have to do is hashtag YMANation down in the comment section, and she's going to give you a keyword somewhere, sometime during this episode. If you look down in the comment section, you will see where it says, click the link for the keyword, and it'll take you to the website for YMANation. And you just put in the keyword, and your name will go in the drawing an additional time. You want to hear some more information? To help you win even more, or have the opportunity to win even more, go to the YMANation Facebook page. Every episode is on that page. So when the next one comes out in March, you go and you hashtag YMANation in the comment section. You share the video and you like the video. For each of those things, your name will be in the drawing one extra time. So if you share, your name goes in the drawing. If you like, your name goes in the drawing. And if you hashtag YMANation, your name goes in the drawing. So that's 3 extra times per episode that you could win.
All right.
All right, guys. So that is it. Real Estate Wednesday. What are we talking about today?
So, phrase that I hear a lot is, how can I get the best deal?
Best deal.
How to get the best home deals.
Everybody wants
right?
the best deal. Yes.
Right. So, I put down here a couple of phrases because these are what I hear from buyers and sellers. So, the buyer's like, I want the best deal, you know. Where can I get the best house for the least amount of money, right? Most house, least amount of money. Best deal, right? And everyone selling wants to make money off their house.
Right.
You know, I run a comps, says it's $200,000. We can get $200,000 for your house. Well, I think my house is valued at $220,000. I think my house is valued at $230,000. So everyone selling wants more money out of their house. Everyone buying wants to get the house for the cheapest that they possibly can. Right.
Right.
So it's important to understand how to find a middle ground. Like, how can you negotiate this and come to a middle ground where both parties can get what they want? Or if you're an agent, how do you cater to a buyer who has the mindset, you know, I want this amount of house and I want this house, but I only want to spend this much money on it? Or if you're working for a seller, how do you get through to them that your house may not be valued at what you think your house is valued at?
Right. Yes,
Okay?
definitely.
So we're going to talk about that today.
That's
Any input?
Yeah, I think that's going to be important because everybody, whether you're buying or selling, if I'm buying a house, how can I find that best deal? Everybody wants that best deal. And it's logical to think that way too. And if you're selling a house, then how can I maximize and get the most out of this house as possible?
So I want to give you guys a little bit of a story because I'm in school right now.
You're in school right now?
Yeah.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
They probably already go figure it out though.
But And just to break down the story, I've talked to a lot of agents from many areas, different areas in South Carolina, agents that work markets in North Carolina, even agents that work in different states, Colorado. The market is insane everywhere. Every agent is saying it's nationwide. The markets are insane. In certain areas, sellers are getting offers for $50,000 more, $40,000 more than list price in some markets.
Wow.
So you think it's bad here. In other places, it is.
We need to put our house on the market.
Don't give them no ideas. Seriously, if you are a buyer right now, finding the best deal is just something that is no longer in your forte.
Right.
Okay. We have investors that we work with, and they're like, well, I just want to do fix and flips. Well, I don't know what you're fixing and what you're flipping, but unless you want to go invest $200,000 in it and then put it back on the market from maybe $250 to $275, if you're not in that price point, then the 150s, the 140s, those days are long gone. Yeah. Long gone. They're no longer here, people. They're not here. And
in our area, right?
No, maybe in certain. I can't speak for the whole United States. Okay. I could tell you based on agents that I've talked to in different areas in the United States that in those it's in
those highly populated areas, right.
It's just not. And then they're all saying the same thing, especially for South Carolina, North Carolina, this generalized area. People are selling their houses up north. They're selling $600, $700, $800 million houses.
$800 million houses. You say you mean like $800,000 house?
$800,000 houses,
oh, okay.
$1 million houses.
$1 million houses.
I was just skipping. I was 7, 8, up to $1 million,
right?
Over $1 million.
I'm like, man, who got an $800 million
and
house?
Some of these people, their mortgage payoff may be like, if it's a $700,000 house, their mortgage payoff may be $400,000 or $500,000. They're coming down here with cash and outbidding everybody with cash.
Right.
Another thing is, and I haven't done all of the research on this, but I'm going to. There are now 2 companies that will pay cash for the property and then turn around and resell it to you. So what that means?
Yeah, explain that one.
What that means is you have companies. Let's say you go to this company that does it. I'm getting more details because this is very interesting to me, and it sounds like a scam, but these have been confirmed. They're legitimate companies, at least 2 of them.
Okay.
Let's say that you want to buy a house, 123 ABC Street, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say that house cost $400,000.
Okay.
That company will go buy that house cash. Okay. You go to that company and you say, I want this house. Then they'll go buy it cash so you can put a cash offer in on the house because you're going to have cash to buy the house with.
Through them.
Okay. And then you're going to pay them the loan back. So it's not a traditional mortgage lender. They're just buying houses with cash, and then you are in turn, you owe them the money.
So they're acting as a lender almost.
Almost.
What's the interest rate?
That's why I said I don't have all the details.
Yeah, that's what's going to be important.
People are using them because of the volatility of the market. the market is so volatile to buyers right now. And if you don't have cash, you're getting outbid with cash. So if I have 5 offers on the table, that cash offer is 9 times out of 10, depending upon contingencies and things like that, is going to outweigh these other offers.
Right.
You have some places where they're getting the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 offers over what the list price is, and that agent is saying, well, you can offer over the list price this much, and that can be your highest and best, but you're striking out the appraisal as a contingency.
Explain that when you say striking out the appraisal.
Well, we talked about contingencies last week.
Right.
So that means that you can no longer make it contingent on appraisal because we know it's not going to appraise.
Right.
We're not going to drop the price back down to list price because you've overbid $50,000 so that you've outbid everybody else so you can get the property. But what that does is now you're driving the property values up. Right.
In that community, right? Or the surrounding area.
Now you're driving up because you paid X amount of dollars for this property, right? So now you're saying you're not able, like the appraisers around South Carolina, in the upstate particular, you see where the appraisals are coming in so low because they're trying to mitigate that the property values from going like skyrocketing, and then that in turn you're gonna crash eventually, right? It's a cycle. We've talked about that where this is the housing market. It's like a roller coaster. You get up high and then it's gonna crash, right? Just like everything in life, you have the circle,
ups and downs, right?
So at some point the market's gonna crash, right? At some point, maybe not right now because everybody's buying houses, but the appraisers, they are trying to mitigate that some. But when you have these cash buyers that are willing to strike appraisal off of contingency, I've had it in my contract just to win the bid. In high demand areas, you as the buyer, if you're getting it financed through a typical lender, you're going FHA, USDA, VA, it makes it harder for you.
Yeah,
it makes
definitely.
it harder for you to, stay competitive with the people that already have, cash sitting in the bank to come down and outbid you.
And I think that's in any industry. Like, people love cash buyers. No matter if it's like a car lot,
right?
Yeah, like everyone loves those cash buyers.
The only thing you have in a car lot is you typically are going to have multiple makes and models of that car for that year, and they can pick the color. But if it's a house you really want, you may not find a house that has all of the same things
that you love about
that house.
Right. So
you can have it built that way. That would be an option. But so to my buyers.
To the buyers out there.
It's just not a nice market for you right now. It's just not.
And it's not to discourage you.
It's not to discourage you. This is like reality, right? Because I love being upfront with my buyer clients that I do have and just saying, hey, this is the reality of it. I try to tell my investors, you want to invest in something right now, get into rental properties, get into Airbnbs, because that's where the money is right now. But if you're going to be an investor, you have to listen to the advice that you're paying for from your real estate agent. If I'm telling you that right now is not the time to just fix and flip properties because you don't want to spend the money that you're going to have to spend. Like most investors, they don't want to go buy a $200,000 or $250,000 house to go fix and flip. They want to keep that low. They're going to want to go buy a $100,000 house, $130,000 house. to keep the risk margin lower, right? Mm-hmm. But those houses just aren't there. And if they are, the margins are so slim, it's really not worth it once you get into it, you know, for the work that you have to do to it. So, you know, rentals, Airbnbs, that's where I can't tell you how many groups I am in on Facebook all over the South. Everybody's always asking for a rental.
And there's always shortages.
There's always shortages for rentals. Always. You know, short-term rentals, long-term rentals. I mean, people need it. And then, of course, you know, your Airbnbs and things like that. It's also, you know, a hot commodity right now because it's temporary. People who can't find short-term rentals can sometimes find Airbnbs if it's just like for a month or two. And, you know, it works for them.
Right.
You know, and typically that's furnished. You know, your Airbnbs are furnished so they don't have to worry about moving furniture in or anything like that.
Storage.
Right.
Right.
So that's to my buyers. To my sellers. Now, just because it's a seller's market doesn't mean you can go put your house on the market for $50,000 over what that.
Over the comps.
Right. I mean, the comps are the comps. Now, I'm not a licensed appraiser. I'm saying that because I'm a licensed realtor. That means that I can't give you what the appraised value of your home is. If you want to know what the appraised value of your home is, go hire an appraiser to come out. Probably going to take about 3 weeks because all of them are backed up right now in this area. But if you really want to know the true value of your home when you're selling, then have an appraisal done. It will at least give you an idea because an appraisal is, you know, a one time. That's the value of that the appraiser thinks that your home is worth at that point in time when the appraisal is done. But it will give you an idea of, I could probably list my house around this value and be okay to get this. So if you're a seller and number one, if you have a licensed realtor working for you,
which you should
if you're selling your house, because you do not save this miraculous amount of money by not having one. Okay. Misconception.
Okay.
But they think because it's a seller's market, they do. They think that, oh, I'll just list this myself and this is seller's market and I'll list it for what I want to list it for and it's just going to sell in 24 hours. Probably not. But you have to be realistic as well. So just because you feel like that because the market is so good right now that you can sell your house for whatever you want to, that's definitely not the case. You still have to put it on the market for what it is truly or around what it's truly valued at.
Right.
And then if someone comes in and they want to pay you more for it, then, you know, then your realtor that you're working with can then advise you on how to move forward with that transaction.
I think that's important too, because like your licensed agent will tell you if you have your house on the market for $200,000 and someone comes in and they put in an offer for $205,000, but there's like 4 more showings, you may want to wait and then ask for highest and best, right?
Right. It is up to the negotiation between that licensed realtor and you as the seller as to how you want to proceed with any offer that comes across the table. And then that realtor and that licensed agent can give you a professional opinion on what you should do. And the same on the buyer side. You know, if the market is competitive and we're highest and best, I may say, hey, you may want to go and be competitive and raise that purchase price that you're putting in for this house if you really want it.
Right.
But I'm not going to push my client into that. I'm going to advise them that based on your specific scenario, this could work for you.
Right.
Right. So I think as agents, now I'm talking to agents out there, as agents, it's up to us to also advise from a professional standpoint, as we're hired to do by a buyer or a seller, to be able to, or the brokerages, and then you as the sub agent acting on the broker's behalf, you are, you have certain obligations that you have to meet with those people. And so you advise them correctly, and if you don't know, then ask your broker, ask, someone with more experience. Hey, I have this transaction. This is the situation. Because when I first got started in real estate, I probably tore my broker's nerves up. I would call. If I had a question, I would call. But it's because I wanted to retain as much information as I could so I wouldn't have to call again
in the future,
with the same question. And some of it is all about the learning curve. But agents out there, you have to be diligent too. We put a lot on the clients and everything, but you have to be diligent at what you're advising to and hold that standard as an agent.
I think that's important too. I think when we purchased our house, like getting the information from our agent, seeing the knowledge that she had, and especially now you got a comparison to see like now, okay, well, from your level versus what she was saying, she was like, it makes sense now. So I think based on your statement, it's important to like continuously try to grow as an agent. Don't just like, well, if this happened, I'm just going to just give them an answer. Right? Go and get a real answer, something that's going to be something that makes sense. Because sometimes they just throw out a response. Right.
So best home deals, what I could tell you is if you're a buyer and you want the best home deal possible, the best home deal possible, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. You may have to look in an area that you weren't specifically looking in before. You may have to go outside of, where your needs analysis tells you that you wanted to stay, because it may not be there. That best home deal may not be in that area. So sometimes you have to go outside of that comfort zone to get the best deal. For investors, same thing. You have to get ahead of the curve. Where are they not building 5,000 subdivisions? Okay, I'm over exaggerating. But seriously, like every road I turn down, they're building a new subdivision where we are. Yeah. Seriously.
Not even subdivisions. Like they just building in general.
Yeah. So you have to go to the place where you don't see all of the equipment yet and buy there. Seriously, because you have to look at the growth pattern. Where are industries coming to? Where's manufacturing plants coming to? Look at your, local news or whatever and say, oh, well, this plant is coming to this area. They're going to break ground this year or this date or whatever. And bet your bottom dollar, if there's a plant coming there, they're going to need housing because they have to have people to work there. That's and right. People who are driving an hour to get to that plant, that's going to get really tiring really quick. So they're going to want to move closer to where their job is. It's just human nature. It's the way it is. It's the way it's going to be, right? So that's how you find the best deals. That's what you need to do. And if you need help doing that, you can give me a call at the office at 864-249-1437. 37 is the real estate. 37. I got a lot of numbers up here. And you can ask for, if I'm not here, Leanna can get you scheduled for a call back, but I always try to get back with you and answer any questions that you have. So give us a call if you have any questions about that or any real estate questions. Give us a call.
You guys heard it. The Pyramid Group with Keller Williams. The Pyramid Group with Keller Williams. 864-249-1437.
Yep.
All right. That's a lot of good information.
Yes.
I just had to sit back and just listen and absorb. And, good. Guys,
I was on a roll today.
you was on the road today. That's
I
a
was on
lot of good
roll.
information. And if you're trying to like buy a home, being able to absorb that, or if you're even trying to sell your home, that's a lot of good
See, I
information.
wanted to get sellers engaged and
Yeah.
agents engaged and
Buyers and
everybody. Because I typically focus on buyers. So I wanted to
Spread it out.
spread out the love today.
Guys, make sure you like, comment, and
Subscribe.
guys gotta subscribe. We're trying to get to that 2,000 subscribers. We hit 2,000 subscribers in March. At the end of the month, we're going to give away $2,000.
2,000, guys.
$2,000. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for Real Estate Wednesday, and we will see you on Friday for Friday football.
View what the boss's view. You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.